Good morning. It is Wednesday, March 25th, 90 days out from June 23rd, the DTD2. You are calling your I's and your Q's, texting your C's. That is a tool that we got from a great class called Never Ending Referrals. MAPS coach Steve Schluter built that tool, the DTD2, do the database 2, making sure that you move through your entire database over the course of a quarter and at least talk to each person one time. I think we catastrophize how many conversations we need to have. And that's why we chunk it down, it's in bold. They'll tell you 20 conversations. Breakthrough is going to be starting on April 13th. We're going to challenge you to make sure you're having 10 conversations a day. That should be just a standard baseline. Are you talking to enough people? And that's going to be different for everybody because your success rate based on your skill set and your tenacity are all going to be ebbing and flowing for everyone. But you just have to ask yourself, am I having enough conversations to set enough appointments, to sign enough agreements, to hit the goal that I set for myself, the goal you set for you, right? So that's the question you need to ask yourself. Am I having enough conversations? That's why we throw the DTD2 out to make sure that you know who you should be talking to this week. Calling your I's and Q's, texting your C's. Action-packed, massive Wednesday for you here at the Market Center. We head into Fight Club, of course, at 9 o'clock. Fight Club is from 9 to noon. It's available to you like a study hall if you have nowhere else for your face to be. I trust most people will be exiting bit by bit all morning because we do have contracts as well. But Fight Club is there for you until your face needs to be in your contracts class. So KWFightClub.com, jump in there, cameras on, microphones off. Maybe you're doing the DTD2 and you're moving through your phone and you're making calls. Maybe you're texting, maybe you're DMing, maybe you're working on marketing, whatever you're doing to make sure that you're having enough conversations to hit your goals. That's the point of that. At 9 o'clock, when we get to contracts, you can move over to KellerTV.com and do it virtually. We have Vermont at 9 o'clock in Portsmouth and on Keller TV. At 10 o'clock, we have Maine in Portsmouth and on Keller TV. And then at 11 o'clock, we have New Hampshire contracts in Portsmouth and on Keller TV. Then at noontime, so contracts, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, that's today, 9, 10, 11, in person and also on KellerTV.com. At 12 noon, at noon o'clock, you have the All Partners meeting. The whole crew will be in there talking about all the things that you have done at this Market Center over the last 30 days. That's at 12 o'clock, All Partners meeting. And that is in person in Portsmouth or on the Zooms at KellerTV.com. It's that simple. Then the triumphant return in person in Portsmouth at 2 o'clock, professional courtesies and consumer protection. There's a CEU class, which is already absolutely juiced. It is wall-to-wall humans. This is sold out, and it should be. It is Shannon Whaley. She'll be teaching in person in Portsmouth. That's at 2 o'clock. So if you are booked all day, like if you're an agent and you're like, I got my Vermont license, my Maine license, my New Hampshire license, like you're 9 o'clock straight through the All Partners meeting. Don't worry, there'll be food. We'll feed you. There'll be sustenance. And then you've got your CEU this afternoon with the great Shannon Whaley. So we are wall to wall, 9 to 5 stuff going on in the training room all day today. If you have a chance to be part of that, maybe the CEU is not happening for you. Maybe you're signed up for the CEU. And if I can give you any advice, I would recommend this one thing. I would get into the training room. If you're a CEU student, I would get into the training room as soon as possible to claim your seat because those are going to load up. We're going to have a bunch of people that are probably doing Maine and New Hampshire and the All Partners meeting and then the CEU. And it's general admission. We don't have season tickets yet. We're working on that. We have to get the concessions and the security and the parking. We have to get all that figured out. So just a thought. If you're planning to be in the CEU class and your face is also going to be part of the All Partners meeting and some of the contracts classes, I would get here as soon as humanly possible. And of course, lunch is tucked in there as well. We always feed you after contracts before the All Partners meeting starts, just so you guys know. And that's always brought to you by our dear friends at Movement Mortgage, Brad Kelly, and the whole team. The best part of Brad Kelly, and of course, Benjamin Dickey. So that crew feeding you today. And of course, it is a full day of training, learning, and hanging out with your fellow agents. That's here in Portsmouth. You can also do almost all of it online. So if it's you and Mittens and you're holding down the fort from home, just go to kellertv.com. And don't forget, there's a little break. We wrap up contracts gracefully a little bit early, closer to 12 o'clock. And you'll see the camera on, but the sound off, and you'll see people leaving to get their food and coming back. And then you'll notice we turn the microphone back on and we'll start the All Partners meeting. So it's not network television. The All Partners meeting will not start perfectly at 12 o'clock, but it will start close to 12 o'clock. So give us a little grace if you're playing from home. Just keep kellertv.com on. You'll see New Hampshire contracts will stop. We'll send everybody out to get fed, and then we'll start just after 12-ish. So bear with us on that. I know it can be confusing if you're home. You're like, camera's on, but I can't hear anybody. This feels like Fight Club. I'm just kidding. We will be feeding people. Then once we get the room settled, we'll start the All Partners meeting. And then, of course, that wraps up at 1:30. So we can clear the room and make sure everybody who's staying for the CEU can be in the room for the CEU. There'll be a lot of traffic. There'll be tons of parking. This is one of those days which I adore. We will get yelled at by Goodwill, I'm sure. Goodwill right across the parking lot. They'll be like, you people are using all the park. It's our parking lot. Anyway, so that's that. Friendly reminder for you, if you have not ever read the Red Book, if you have not ever attended a business planning clinic, there's still time. We have the Q2 Prep Business Planning Clinic because we are going to wrap up March, and April 1st is April Fool's Day, and it's also the first day of Q2. So if you would like to jump in tomorrow in Meredith, we're doing our Q1. I call it Q1 because it falls in Q1, but it's really to get ready for Q2. So if you haven't ever read the Red Book, I'm telling you right now, you don't need to read the Red Book to jump into the business planning clinic, which is and we always leave this part out. It's the MREA business planning clinic, or the Millionaire Real Estate Agent business planning clinic. We're going to dissect that book tomorrow in Meredith. We're going to go through the 4 models, right? The economic model, the lead gen model, the budget model, and the organizational model. That is what we will go through. We'll talk about building your goals. We're going to use, I know, shock horror, some AI to do that, to make it very specific and dynamic for you. So that conversation takes place tomorrow in Meredith if you want to join me for that. And if that's not on your radar, that's okay. We'll do our next one. We do a halftime business planning clinic coming up at the end of June here in Portsmouth. And then as we get closer to Q4, you'll see them pop up again September, October, November, December, as we always have done to get you guys ready for 2027. I just said it. Yes, 2027, which is yowzers. So that's about it. That's what's on your plate for today. If I can encourage you to do anything, it's to remember the reason that we do this every morning. The reason I started the Quick Start years ago was twofold. I wanted to have a connecting conversation between everybody because our geographic footprint is 4 states. We've got people spread out all over the place. And I also want to remind you of what's available to you, because you can look, and if you look at the monthly, if you go to KWCLMHub.com, KWCLMHub.com, you can see the entire training calendar for the month. There's more than 7 things on the calendar. I mean, there's more than how many things do we have today? Just entertain me for a second. 1, James Shaw, Quick Start. I'm using my fingers. Isn't this pathetic? This is so pathetic. Fight Club. 3 more with contracts. I'm going to run out of beans. 6, 7. We have 8 things going on today. Today, that doesn't make us. It makes us different. I'll say that. Doesn't make other people worse or us better. It just makes us different. Now, here's the thing. Is everything on the menu intended for you? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. If you're not licensed in Vermont, no, 9 o'clock's not important to you for Vermont contracts. Could you sit in there? Sure. But just you have to look at what's presented today and decide what's appropriate for you. And this is why every day I just remind you, hey, here's what's on the menu for today. Just so you know what you have access to. People join this company for a myriad of reasons. Most people are going to lean into the fact that there was always an opportunity to learn. There was always a conversation to be part of. And if you're here and maybe you haven't been leaning into it the way that you thought you would, The best part of that opportunity is you can change that pattern, you can change that programming, and you can think differently and be like, I'm just going to approach it differently today. So, whatever it is that you haven't been doing, that you've gotten away from, you can just leap right back in. There are always going to be constants on our calendar. And the reason they're there is we know the consistent practice of these activities will benefit everyone at our company. So if you're feeling like you're a little off track, just jump back on track. There's room for everyone. And if you look at the legend, we actually say this is for this person, that person, this person, that person. Don't overthink it. There's not a thing on our calendar that you shouldn't be okay to pop your head into. And if you feel like, you know what, I'm afraid that'll be over my head. Everyone at this market center, everyone in this industry is learning every day. The moment you decide that you are no longer learning based, my fear is that your business will reside right next to that mindset, right? This is a bold law. Your business will expand to the extent that you do. If you decide, well, I don't need to learn anymore, well, that's where you're going to be. And Wednesday is so vitally important. We are in the practice of real estate. This is not a job. Real estate is a practice. I'm so tempted to do my best Allen Iverson, but I won't. Real estate is a practice. We're talking about practice. So jumping in every Wednesday is an opportunity to hear from your peers, to hear about changes, to hear about best practices. So give yourself the grace to just enjoy what's available to you. And if you got questions about anything, you can always let me know at 603-834-2856. You can also book my face so we can have a conversation about your individual business, should you require that. You can do that at meetwithcoach.com. We'll see you in and around the market center and the internet today. Take care.